After winning the 2018 Rental League Championship in the heavies class at Dallas Karting Complex, this was about trying to repeat and do it all over again. The 2019 season started off with a bang as I took the lead on the opening laps of the pre-final just a few turns in after qualifying third overall. A lap 2 charge from legendary kart number 26 was quickly denied by Chris, who apparently was doing a bumper audit to make sure the SOTY bumpers were bolted on tight. I wasn't immune to Chris's audit, as just a few corners later he tried to bump and run me and blamed it on Russell, who was completely innocent of all charges. I went on to finish in third place. In the final, I got behind Russell, who was last year's runner-up in the championship, and swapped for first once, but mostly chased him for a good portion of the race, before finally getting passed by 2 karts and finishing fourth. The final was a race I'd rather forget, as it was full of aggressive and rough driving. Apparently Chris was promoted to lead recruiter in the bumper tester division and recruited a whole crew of drivers that took their job seriously. It's obvious Chris is a great trainer too. I fell to 23rd just 4 laps into the race after getting into another driver. I tried to straighten him out, but we didn't practice this move and it didn't work. A few laps later, while in 21st place, it almost happened again, but instead of spinning him, I decided to take the ride and fell back to 23rd again. I eventually finished in 18th and took a big hit in the points. Looking to rebound from race 2, I started race 3 in 6th position and briefly worked my way up. In a kart with moderate straight line speed, I spent most of the race battling for 6th and 7th positions. On lap 3, I had to show another driver that it was a bad idea to turn down early into me, and I drove him up the track. He wasn't happy about it, but oh well. He and Russell eventually caught me, and we had a good fight, with Russell and I eventually passing him, and Russell passing me later to get into 6th. I kept a hard charging number 12 kart behind me the final 2 laps and finished in 7th. Race 4 was run in the reverse direction we normally run in, which is my favorite. I got a great start in the final and took the early lead over Russell, who was on pole. Race 4 was also the first time that Chance, who is perhaps the best rental league racer at DKC, made an appearance on Illegal Alien Racing. I held him off for 3 laps before he made the pass on the start of lap 4. I held on to 2nd place most of the race until I was passed on lap 9 and fell back to 3rd. Just a few turns in on lap 10, Chris, who remember, spun another driver out in race 1, was apparently greenlit because of that incident, and the driver of kart 22 put in some work and took him out. That cleared the rear for me, and I went on to finish in 3rd place. Race 5 brought a new twist no one expected. DKC decided to turn the sprinkler on in one corner and make it very slippery on an otherwise dry track. It didn't take long for something to happen, as on the first lap of the pre-final, Brandon got sideways in front of me and I saved him by straightening his kart out for him. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be taken into consideration when I apply for sainthood someday. I started 11th in the pre-final and finished in 5th, which set me up well for the final. I drew kart number 8 for the final, which was very fast on the straight but didn't turn very well. I got up to 2nd place in the opening lap behind Russell, who took the lead. I battled with the kart the entire race in the tricky wet corner, trying different techniques to get it to turn but couldn't figure it out.
I cannot get that kart to turn.
On my 4th try, I messed up and spun the kart.
I'm in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place.
I fell back to 7th as a result, but had time to try to get some spots back. I was only able to get back to 4th as the wet corner got the better of me. I started race 6 in 3rd spot, and this was also the first time Justin appeared on Illegal Alien Racing. This race was definitely related to race 2 with an anything goes driving style. I got shuffled back to 9th and worked my way up as far as 5th, and I ended up finishing in 8th place. Despite not having a great season so far, I entered race 7 4th overall in points, with a chance to move up to third if this race went well. I started 6th in the final race. There was an early 3-kart breakaway consisting of Vicent, Russell, and Chris. I lagged behind just out of reach for most of the race until about 2 laps left, when I was able to catch up to Russell and Vicent after some battling between them. I made a last lap attempt at 3rd place, but wasn't able to hold the position and brought it home in 4th. In the second to last race of the season, I qualified 8th overall for the pre-final. Race 8 was also one of the very first times infamous rental kart league racer Kart Rage made an appearance on the channel. Surprisingly, my first interactions with him on track were clean. I made the move into second on lap 4 and finished there in the pre-final. In the final, I started outside of row 1 with Vicent starting on pole. Russell passed me on lap 3 and I fell back to 4th. I was caught by kart 9 the next lap and lost another spot. I was able to retake 4th on lap 7 and held him off the rest of the race to finish in 4th for a second consecutive race. The last race of the year was run in the reverse direction and during the day. The championship was up for grabs between Chance and Russell. Vicent had a slim lead on me for 3rd overall, so it was important that I finish in front of him and secure a podium spot in the championship. I qualified 6th for the pre-final and was looking to do well, but my kart had other ideas. With the slow engine on the straights, I was a sitting duck for the rest of the field. I fought as hard as I could, but eventually fell back to 9th, finishing there. I drew another slow kart in the final, and wanting to avoid a repeat of the pre-final, elected to get a different kart. The downside, though, was I had to start in last place for doing that. The gamble paid off, though, as I got a better kart than I would have had. I resembled an amateur chef as I sliced and diced my way through the field. Most drivers didn't have a lot of experience running the track in the reverse direction we usually run, and I was able to take advantage of that. It was a good run as I finished in 10th, but unfortunately for me, Vicent won both races and secured 3rd overall, and I finished 4th in points. Chance won his first Rental League championship, narrowly edging Russell after a controversial call on a racing incident that penalized Russell. It was a fun season overall, but had its share of tough races. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this season. And as always, thanks for watching.